Yo, what is good, YouTube? This is Out the Mud Traders showing you another trade that we got massive pips from the mud. This chart is what I consider mud, and we try to find a way to extract money from this muddy situation that you see here on these charts right now. So right now, I'm gonna show you exactly what I did, how I did it, and why I did it. So here on the 4-hour, so my bias on GBP, JPY was bearish. I'm gonna post a trade right now so you see everything. My bias on gold was bearish. This breaker structure here confirmed my bearish scenario. So price could have pushed back up into this zone, which it did, but this zone wasn't strong enough to give us this push. So I did not take this trade from this zone. So now here we are again. This is where I took the trade. So now this breakup structure right here confirmed the bearish bias right here. So now once I got my bearish bias from the 4-hour, I dropped down time frames and I look for an area to sell from. So this area could have been marked up, but this would have been too big. So and as you see, this candle could have faked you out because it pushed past this area right here. As you can see, it wicked a little bit past it. So this was not the area that I took myself from. So I dropped down time frames. Now I'm on the 1-hour chart. This is that same area from the 4-hour. So as you can see, now I waited. So this is where patience come into play. So now I saw this liquidity that needed to be swept to fuel these moves right here because the market moves on liquidity. So this zone push price to break this structure. So all I did was mark this zone out. So this is my supply zone that I'm gonna look to sell from. So as you can see, this liquidity was swept. This liquidity was all swept with this push right here. So we pushed up. I don't consider these structure breaks because, like I said, there's a supply zone above all of this. So this I consider as liquidity instead of market structure breaks because the 4-hour already gave me my bearish bias. So I look for the 1-hour to align with the 4-hour. I don't look at the 4-hour and then take the 1-hour and follow that. I wait till the 1-hour aligns with my 4-hour analysis and then I execute my trades. So this liquidity was swept with this push. So this was my first confluence right here, this breaker structure. Now my second confluence would have been, well, it was to come back up into this zone and to reject this zone, which is what you see right here. This wick right here was my confirmation of this zone being rejected. So all I did now was, first let me show you where my POI was. My POI was this demand zone here. This was where my TP was here. So what I learned trading it is that sometimes TP does not get hit, but that doesn't mean your trade is wrong. You just have to know what you're looking at and when to make the right move and when not to make the move. So this was a decision that I made that, that I benefited from because I saw that price was not going to give me my initial TP. So I closed my trade literally here. So, and this was not a bad trade because I was deep in profit right here enough to close the trade because as you see, I closed it right here. And right when I closed the trade, we pushed back up. My trade wasn't invalid, but it just wasn't going to give my TP at this point in time because as you see, we pushed back up deeper into the zone and then we viciously fell. So this wasn't a bad trade. It just, like I said, it just didn't give my TP at that time, which is okay. So this liquidity was swept, pushed up into the zone, rejected it. Now I dropped down to my 1-minute time frame. And this trade was taken during Asia session. which I don't normally trade, but you know, if a trade is there, I take it. So this was that hourly candle right here. So once we came up here, I saw that this was my first break of structure. I mean, my change of character was right here. So I'm gonna go to the 1 hour so you guys can see that this is the same area. As you can see, you can't really see it right here, but this is my choke. This is my change of character right here in these candles. Like I said, the rejection, I'll go down to the 1 minute. Now we see the change of character. So now let me go back. Okay, so now this was my change of character here. So now once that change of character happened, this high pushed this change of character. So all I did was put my 50% fib box here across. So as you can see, this was my 50% fib level. So again, these are not highs broken. This is all liquidity that has to get swept. This liquidity was all swept with this huge push here. This push here took out this liquidity. So I enter my first I enter my first position as soon as we touch this. And then my second positions again. Change of character here again. Another change of character. This high pushed this change of character. So then I just did the same thing again. So now I marked this right here. So this is my 50% fib level. And this is what I use instead of drawing these boxes, because as you can see, you see how big, let's say if my zone was this big and price, let me put it right here. So let's say my zone was this big. We're gonna put it to this candle. Let's say my zone was this big for this right here, right? So now if I enter my trade here, look where my stop loss would have to be. This is too big. I don't like big stop losses. I don't like that. I trade, the way I trade, I like to put a tight stop loss, because if it gets hit, I'm not gonna take that much of a loss. So now look at where my stop loss is here, as opposed to waiting for price to come to my 0.5, my 50% level, and I'm cutting my stop loss in half. So I'm risking less, but the TP is still the same. My risk to reward is still the same. My risk is less, but my reward is still the same. So that's how I trade. That's why I use this box instead of drawing this box. So now, here we go. So now this is what I did. I drew this box here. So now, when price came in here, you see how it pushed past it? I did not set a TP, and I did not set a stop loss on my first entry, because price sometimes like to push past your area of interest and then stops you out, and then it continues in your favor. So but I didn't enter heavy in this position for the same reason. There's a whole strategy as to why I do things the way I do it. So you see this pushed up, rejected. I waited till price came back up here. This candle closed exactly at my 50% level, and this is all I did. I put my stop loss right above that wick. So my TP now, my TP was here. But as you see, price came right here and decided to reverse. I got out of my trade somewhere around this area. I was deep enough in profits to not have to hold it all the way to my TP, because as you see, TP did not get hit immediately. It went back up, and then as you see, it went back up, and then I went deeper into my zone, and then we really fell. So, but this was also a news candle right here. So as you can see, when I entered this trade, we got this huge push right here. This was a big push. Got excited because I was like, okay, we're on the right side of things on this trade. So this pushed this price here. So then we retraced back up, and we just kept falling all the way down to here. And that is exactly how I caught the 500 pip trade, just doing this exact thing right here. And I do this over and over and over again. So this is how I did. I could have took this trade again. Like I said, this wasn't, we still did not break my zone. We just came back deeper into it, swept some more liquidity to fuel another move down. Like I said, price moves on liquidity. So that was that trade, guys. So the next video I will be posting on GJ will hopefully be a sell position, because my bearish for next week is bearish, but we will see how things play out. So if you guys like my video, just leave a like. If you hate it, leave a comment telling me you hate it. If you like it, leave a comment telling me you like it. Subscribe, because I'm just showing you guys what works for me. This may not work for you, or this may not be how you trade, but you know, every strategy works for different people different ways. So this is the way I trade, and I'm just here, you know, showing you what I do. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does work, it does work. But this is here for you to make that decision on your own, if you like the way I trade or you don't. But give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. I will catch you guys on the next one.